How do we deal with depression and decline in energy?
Om Namaste.
You cannot overcome with depression and decline in strength just like that without doing a preliminary analysis. Just like a doctor cannot cure a disease without making a preliminary diagnosis. What is the cause of this illness? Accordingly, you at first have to do a preliminary analysis, examine from all angles, perform diagnostics, an accurate diagnosis of your depression. What is the cause of my depression? What is the cause of my lack of energy? Furthermore, it will surely be multidimensional, so that you will get different signals from different angles. But you will only be sure in the end. So where does such a diagnosis start? You can order a current horoscope from a Jyotish astrologer who would indicate what negative planetary influences there are in your life. Secondly, you can contact any of the Vedic specialists to check for any obstacles in your subtle aura, and if there are any hindrances that the world calls spoilage or evil eye, interference from spirits, from other people's thoughts. All this can be in your subtle body. Then the question arises concerning their purification, their removal. There are various spiritual Vedic practices for their purification, such as Atma Shuddhi. Next, you can analyze your subtle consciousness circuits. I may not have faith or know where to go. Maybe I am still deciding the meaning of life, and the compass of my life, the navigator of my life's destiny, has been knocked down, and my will has yet to find the point where to put its efforts. My meanings and values may be unclear and broken, and I am like a ship in the open sea without a compass, which has lost its bearings and sails according to the wind's will. Then the matter here is not in obstacles, not in spoils, and even not in evil planets, but the matter is in me, that I am spiritually infantile. I have not determined the main direction of my life. I am like a captain on a ship who does not know where to sail. It can also be a cause of depression and a decline in strength. Apart from this, you should analyze the energy body. Maybe I am losing energy by having sex. Maybe my channels are clogged. Maybe my chakras are clogged. Maybe my kumbhaka is not great at all because I have neglected energy practices. I am not cleansing my channels. I am not doing asanas. I am not doing pranayama, mudras, pranavidya practices. I am eating dense food or even eating meat. And my energy system, what is called prana linga, is wishing better. Should I urgently, seriously take up such energy practices? Next, when you have done this, you need to analyze and diagnose your environment. I may live in an unfavorable place. Maybe I sleep in a geopathogenic zone. Maybe I'm living among neighbors with negative thoughts in a high-rise building, squeezed by negative energies and negative vibrations. When on the right, they drink alcohol. On the left, they eat meat. Upstairs, they constantly fight and quarrel. And downstairs, they use drugs. May I be being squeezed by a hostile, low-vibrational, low-frequency, low-culture environment that does not match my spiritual vibration? It could be a possibility as well. It is called Shuddhi Vichara. exploring the purity of the environment, the purity of the connection, the purity of the relationship, and the purity of the surroundings. May I sleep with my head to the south or west, but not east or northeast, as recommended by Vastu experts and Holy Scriptures. And the flow of my energies is opposite to the natural geomagnetic flow of energies at night. It could be all these different situations that give you depression or a lack of strength. Also, have to analyze what information I consume. Information is like food, like nutrition. If a person eats unhealthy food for years, his body will be sick. In the same way, if we consume impure, wrong, low-frequency, non-spiritual, non-blessing, and darkening information for years, our subtle body gets poisoned. Low-frequency energies begin to vibrate in it. The person's bhava, his worldview, is reduced to pashu bhava, such a half-animal state. And then the subconscious mind has a chronic lack of happiness, joy, inspiration, purity, beauty, and harmony because it is poisoned with information from networks, media, TV, news channels, and YouTube. And the information you choose can be negative and darken you, and then the subconscious mind is poisoned with dark energies of fear, dissatisfaction, judgment, aggression, anger, stupidity. It is also essential to what our subtle body eats. Sometimes it is necessary to prescribe a diet, literally forbidding yourself watching some programs or channels to get in touch with some information because you cannot digest it yet. If you overload the subtle body with such information, it will get sick too. It will start to feel anxiety and fear, and it will start to retaliate against you somehow with these feelings. Thus, when you have carried out such a complex diagnostics, a whole picture will open in front of you, something that you have not seen. I forgot to mention, if you're in a refuge, you should analyze Samaya. Are your relations with refuge, with faith, with spiritual master, with Dharma, with Samaya brothers and sisters all pure? Have you not allowed judgment, anger, hatred, criticism, and impurity in your relations with spiritual brothers and sisters? It is also essential. The relationship with spiritual brothers and sisters, with the spiritual master, with your chosen deity, with the closest, holiest, purest objects should be crystal, spotlessly pure, although sometimes it is not easy. However, we should always try to purify ourselves, purify our Samaya, and maintain the purity of Samaya, no matter how difficult it may be. In the same way, we should analyze our relationship with those who are close to us, family, and children. Maybe something in the relationship is broken and we live with it for years. After all, very often, relations with close people could be favorable and blessed, and their prayers, good wishes, and love will literally cherish, protect, and heal you, even at a distance. Everyone knows what the power of a mother's prayer is. However, if close people in their soul are sneering at you, are angry at you, cursing you, or sending you negativity, then such a person can also be suffering from this. And if his physical body is not sick, he may feel a decline in strength and depression. It is also necessary to analyze it. After we have done such a complex analysis, then we should apply upayas as a method. Astrology has its own methods of correcting the negative influence of grahas, planets. Relationships have their own methods of purification. Even psychology will help here. For the purification of samaya, there is a ritual and ceremony for this purpose. Repentance is needed. Taking up samaya again or taking refuge. For the energy body, there are energy practices of prana vidya, kundalini yoga, asana, pranayama, and shat chakra yoga, when it is necessary to bring the whole energetic system to the certain tone. For the subtle body, there are restrictions on the absorption of information and radical restructuring of the information you absorb. Perhaps we need to focus only on the perception of pure favorable information. Such upaya is used here, such is the method. To adjust meanings, values, and goals, you need the counseling of a spiritual master or a senior disciple sannyasi, someone experienced to guide you. Alternatively, if you do it independently, you must study the sacred texts. One has to soak in the vision of the saints to adjust one's meanings and values, or to develop them based on the instruction of the sacred texts and the sacred books. In order to be healed at night and not to fall ill, one must choose the right position and the right direction where to lie down. If you want a place to bless you, not take away your strength, not curse you but empower you, you must live in a good, right, sattvic place. And if you don't have such an opportunity, so make efforts for that. Sometimes people say, well, I cannot do anything, I do not have money, and I cannot move or change my residence. Yes, you cannot. But you can think about it, pray about it. You can set an intention, and if you put the power into it, it will work. An option will appear, money will appear, and somehow it will turn out that fate will change because our thoughts have great power. To purify samaya relationships, there is a meditation on the four infinities. Basically, when you have the correct diagnosis, Shuddhi Vichara, it is the study of purity, the study of how to be everywhere in purity. Then you have the right method. About such right method, if you have difficulty, you can also ask the monk. Sometimes it may be doing puja regularly. Sometimes stotra prayers are recited regularly, especially to the chosen deity, for example, Shanti Stotra. Sometimes defense practices, like Dattatreya Kavacha, are needed. And sometimes a complex of pranayamas is needed to cleanse the energy body thoroughly, clear the channels, and raise the wind, prana, to a higher state. It is enough setting the correct orientations for the soul to blossom, sing, to open up new ways of living. These orientations must be synchronized with the sacred scriptures. It's not easy to translate the spirit embedded in the sacred descriptions into one's own highly conditioned life. And that is what sadhus, sannyasis are there for, who can give you help. But how to do it? Only such a comprehensive approach will help you cope. Any one thing alone is not likely to work because of the loss of strength. Depression is a consequence of a whole complex of karmic causes. And therefore, the reaction should be also complex. I wish you all to cope with depressions and loss of strength. May Dharma bestow upon you the spiritual charge of purity, beauty, harmony, youth, love, joy, compassion, happiness, great vitality, strong prana, great physical strength, health, and longevity.
Om Namaste.